And on the Valley today, people thought something was off with a stranger near town, and they were right. Police close in on a suspected triple murderer, and the arrest is all caught on squad car dash cam.
Also this Tuesday morning, America is remembering the VP from Minnesota who made history. Walter Mondale has died at the age of 93.
And a North Dakota man gives himself up to police who were looking for him after the hit and run death of a little girl. But first, comments by U.S. Representative Maxine Waters could fuel the defense's appeal in the murder trial of Derek Chauvin.
Judge Peter Cahill is criticizing the California congresswoman who over the weekend urged protesters in Minnesota to get more confrontational if the former police officer is not convicted for the death of George Floyd. Chauvin's lawyer asked the judge to declare a mistrial over Waters' statements, arguing that she has prejudiced the jury.
Judge Cahill denied that request, but said that Waters' comments were abhorrent and that her words could be grounds for the defense to appeal a guilty verdict.
I just don't know how this jury, it can really be said to be that they are free from the taint of this. And now that we have U.S. representatives threatening acts of violence in relation to this specific case, it's mind-boggling to me, Judge.
The Congresswoman Waters may have given you something on appeal that may result in this whole trial being overturned.
Closing arguments in the case that's being watched around the world wrapped up yesterday afternoon. The trial finished with the defense telling jurors that the prosecution had failed to prove its case beyond a reasonable doubt.
Prosecutors urged the jurors to believe what they saw, meaning the various pictures and videos of George Floyd's death. The jury deliberated until about 8 o'clock last night. Then they spent the night at a hotel where they will be sequestered until they reach a verdict.
Police in Central Texas are releasing dashcam video of the arrest of the suspect in a triple murder in Austin. Stephen Broderick was found walking down a road after at least 2 911 calls reporting a suspicious person matching his description.
Officers conducted a high-risk stop, and they say Broderick complied with officers' commands. They then pulled a loaded pistol from his waistband. Broderick is now charged with capital murder in the shooting death of his ex-wife, adopted daughter, and her boyfriend. The suspect in a deadly hit-and-run in North Dakota from over the weekend is now in jail. Authorities in Rolette County say 25-year-old Joshua Fortune turned himself in yesterday afternoon after warrants were issued for his arrest. He's accused of manslaughter and hit-and-run involving the death of a 7-year-old girl.
According to an affidavit filed on Monday, Fortune and 2 passengers were driving near Dunseith on Saturday. A group of children was crossing the road when one of them hesitated and was hit by Fortune's car. Prosecutors say one of his passengers confirms Fortune drove away without stopping, then abandoned the vehicle and ordered everyone out. A second witness says a female passenger admitted they hit the child, who died of her injuries.
It is now 9 minutes before the top of the hour. We want to get a check of that forecast. It's cool out there this morning, but hey, that sunrise behind you, Lisa, at least it makes us smile.
Yes, it is nice to have that sun, especially April sun. It feels stronger this time of year, but it's been fighting that northwesterly wind that continues to keep us cool here. But a beautiful start in Fargo. Not everybody is enjoying this. Let's take a look at other parts of the valley. This is in the Leeds area along Highway 2, a very different picture. You could see that we've had snow on the ground and on the road surface there. Looks like we still have some snow or low visibility at the moment here this morning as well. So again, conditions are highly variable depending on where you are in the valley, but some of us are getting to enjoy that Tuesday morning sunshine. Here's a look at that snow right now. You can see Devil's Lake basically down through the Cooperstown, Binford area and back over toward Lake Ashtabula, north of Valley City. We've got that line of some light snow coming down in that region. Some scattered snow showers or flurries possible as we continue through the day. Over by Bismarck, that's where we've seen some heavier snowfall. That is trying to work its way south and east. So if you're in one of our communities in the southwestern viewing area in Stutzman, Lemoore, Dickey counties, you may be seeing some of this snow as we head through the morning. Here's a look at our temperatures. Here's the other story. It's quite cold in places. Grand Forks set a record low. We are now at 18 degrees there. It's 19 in Fargo. Wind chills are even lower. It feels like 9 in Grand Forks and 11 your wind chill in Fargo. So a morning to dressed like it's still winter here in the valley. And winds are not that strong at the moment. They're less than 10 miles per hour, still out of the northwest for the most part. And we'll see them pick up again today, some gusts into the 20s. Not as strong as the last couple of days, but still a bit of a breeze. So right now at your bus stop, Fargo at least will have some sunshine, but other places again, you'll want to watch out for snow, as we just showed you on the radar, and you can keep an eye on that on your Valley News Live First Alert weather app. And this afternoon, we'll see more clouds on the increase in those areas that have sunshine, temperatures that try to climb, but it's going to be cool yet again today. We're talking mid-30s to some low 40s. So another chilly day before we start turning things around.
Focusing on the turnaround. We'll get through today. Thank you, Lisa. It's now 7 minutes before 7. Former Vice President Walter Mondale has died at the age of 93. He was a Democratic senator from Minnesota when he was selected by presidential nominee Jimmy Carter to be his running mate in 1976. Some credit Mondale with making the office of the vice president more relevant.
Carter and Mondale lost re-election in 1980 to Ronald Reagan and George H.W. Bush. Mondale was then the Democratic nominee for president in '84 and lost to President Reagan at that time in a landslide. Mondale made history that year by picking Congresswoman Geraldine Ferraro as his vice presidential running mate, then the first woman to join a major party ticket. A group of activists are calling on Fargo City Commissioners to be more accountable for the part they play in creating an equal community. The outcry for accountability was displayed at Fargo City Hall last night as many stood in solidarity in front of the building and inside during Monday's commission meeting.
The room was packed with people wanting to voice their need for equality, including asking to have possible bias within the Fargo Police Department evaluated.
We haven't seen much change, and so, when people can come out, instead of just marching in the streets, but actually showing up to the city functions where the decisions are made, we're more likely to get a result there.
Mayor Tim Mahoney says commissioners are already looking at addressing policing issues in the city, including possibly creating an oversight committee. Booze to go is no longer allowed in the city of Fargo. The City Commission voted 3-2 last night to end the temporary policy that was in place due to the pandemic. It allowed the retail sale, curbside pickup, or delivery of alcoholic beverages when sold in conjunction with a meal.
North Dakota may soon merge the Departments of Health and Human Services, two of the most relied on agencies in the state. There is a bill on the governor's desk that would merge the two departments by September of 2022 without losing any full-time staff. The majority of lawmakers believe the two agencies have similar but sometimes conflicting or redundant functions, and that combining the two will make the initiatives more efficient. West Fargo police have now tracked down a final suspect in a shooting that injured a little boy. The suspect is a juvenile, so they can't release any other details. 2 other people have also been arrested in connection with that shooting.
It happened on March 22nd in the area of 9th Street West and Parkway Drive. Police say it was part of an armed attempted robbery. A 6-year-old boy who was lying in bed was hit in the head with a bullet.
A Barnesville Phi Ed teacher and wrestling coach is now facing charges of domestic assault. 26-year-old Stuart Brandt was arrested on Saturday, allegedly over a fight with his roommate about how she cleans the fridge. Court documents say Brandt shoved her, grabbed her arms, and when she tried to pull away, he grabbed her neck.
When she left the room, documents state Brandt grabbed her arm and punched her left side. He's been employed by the school district for 2 years and works as the elementary Phi Ed teacher and head wrestling coach. A North Dakota man who took an axe to U.S. Senator John Hoeven's office in downtown Fargo is pleading guilty. Police say Thomas Starks of Lisbon smashed the front window and caused substantial damage to the intercom system. He was apparently frustrated over the coronavirus relief bill.
Starks pleaded guilty to destruction of government property. His lawyer says that Starks and his family were struggling financially and relying heavily on a relief bill to be passed. We are getting a look at a new body restraint tool being used by Cass County deputies. The BOLA remote restraint wrap system is an 8-foot tether that entangles someone using little force.
The sheriff's office has purchased 3 BOLA wrap systems and will be implementing them in the coming weeks. Fargo police are partnering with OK Tire to help fight catalytic converter thefts. They're using a flame-resistant paint on your converter, and they also etch in a partial VIN number to make it less desirable to thieves.
Since December, there have been 137 cases of stolen converters reported in Fargo alone. This service is free of charge.
We see them driving around town, but a new push by MapBus is hoping to see your can on the bus, and they mean that quite literally.
And the Valley Today's Brian Sherrod. He joins us live this morning with more on why they want to see your can in the cab. Good morning, Brian.
And good morning, Jordan and Lisa. You know, right here at MapBus, where I actually am, that's where they're doing the Get Your Can on the Bus campaign. And if you knew this, if you decide to have 50 people, or I should definitely say a bus full of people on MapBus, it gets 50 cards off of the roadway. So they say it's a better way to help the environment, but also improve your quality of life. And they have incentives this week to help out with that as well for Earth Week. Now, if you get a free ride on a fixed route when you bring one aluminum can, this provides you with a ride throughout Fargo, West Fargo, Moorhead, and Dilworth. Proceeds from the recycling of collected cans will be donated to the Homeward Animal Shelter. Collected cans will be donated to the Homeward Animal Shelter. This week, riding public transportation instead of using a personal vehicle is one of the most effective ways for citizens to reduce their individual carbon footprints.
People are starting to come back to work and come back out into the community, and I think that they need to be aware that public transit does exist. It's something the community pays for. It allows people to get places they wouldn't normally get, especially in the hot or in the cold.
So the bus will go from 6:15 in the morning to 11:15 at night, and it comes every 30 minutes. So letting you know if you decide to ride the transit, masks are required and social distancing is offered as well.
Brian Sherrod reporting live for us this morning. Thank you. Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. 40% of people say they are embarrassed by this, and they blame their parents for it.
The answer is their middle name. Granted, you don't really hear a lot of people talk about their middle names all that much.
No, I like mine. Lisa Marie. Can't go wrong there.
Ooh,
So.
very nice. Mine's Kurt with a K. I like that too.
Okay.
Anyway, you can play along every day. Head to the Valley News Live Facebook page.
The Today Show and CBS This Morning are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on. Join us right now for more live up-to-minute news and weather on the Fargo CW.